Hi, my name is Dan Perino, the looking for a girlfriend guy in New York City. This is part two of how I dated 1,000 women in 3 years, and basically some tips for you men, and also a little story that one of my dating stories that actually happened a while back. Okay, so let's talk about body language. Body language now, if a woman, let's say you're at a coffee shop or having coffee, if a woman leans her body in towards you, you know that she's listening to you. She's paying attention to you. You know you pretty much have her attention, so she likes you. um, do the same back to her. Lean into her. Um, Another thing, and I notice a lot of men have problems with, is showing affection. Um, let's just say you're on your way to the movies, and it's a beautiful summer day, and your date uh, starts to rub your shoulder like this, and she's showing affection to you. Do something. Just don't stand there like a stiff board. Rub her shoulder or hold her hand. Women love affection. Men have trouble with it. And I don't know really why. It might have something to do with their childhood, but you need to show affection towards each other if you want it to be a relationship, work out. Another thing that I noticed that's a real bad move on either part is that you should not bring your cell phone with you when you are on a date. Now, you're on a date, you're in a coffee shop again, and you get a phone call, and there you are, blah, 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 talking on the phone with your mother for a half hour while your date sits over there quietly. She's gonna leave. Um, Leave the cell phones alone. And her too, your date. If she brings her cell phone and starts texting her friends and taking phone calls on a date, you're all dressed up on a date. You're all dressed up for this thing. You got ready for this thing, and she's gonna talk and text on the thing. She's finished. Don't don't call her. That's it. Find a way out of the date. I forgot I have plans. Whatever. She's not for you. Skip it. Um, a lot of a lot of this. If you just want to go out to some bar, a little trick here that most women know is you go out to the bar at 1 o'clock in the morning when the women are all drunk, and because the men have been buying them drinks all evening, and now they're easy prey. I don't take advantage of women, I really wouldn't recommend doing that unless you really need to get laid. But um, women have their needs too. Uh, I would like to share a story with you that happened to me, a date that happened to me uh, a while back. A girl calls me up and she says, I saw your flyer and I thought it was a joke. I just wanted to call you to see if it was a joke. And I said, no, it's not a joke. I'm really looking for a girlfriend. And she said, really? So she said she would call me later. Later, I get a call from her. Her name is Susan. And she says, would you like to come up to the plaza? I'll send a car for you. And I said, okay. And I look out my window, but 10 minutes later, a stretch limo pulls up. with the chauffeur opening the door. I get in. She takes us, the driver takes us to the Plaza Hotel, the most expensive hotel there is in New York City. And the concierge lets me right up. And when I get to the door is ajar. And I opened it. It was ajar for an invitation for me to just walk in, I guess. I opened the door, and there she was, wearing nothing but her teddy and a bottle of vodka in her left hand. And she starts groping me and kissing me, and well, you know what else. And anyway, we didn't have sex. After a while, she was very drunk, and she lied down on the couch there at the Plaza in her room. And she said, "Sing me a song." So I sang her "Sympathy for the Devil." And she fell asleep. Then I picked her up after a while. I put her in the bedroom. I pulled the sheets over her and kissed her on the cheek and said goodnight. The next day, Susan gives me a call and says the first thing out of her mouth were, "Thank you for not taking advantage of me last night. And would you like to come to the Plaza for a cup of coffee?" And I said, sure. So I took a cab up to the Plaza, and we talked for hours in that little coffee shop, getting to know each other. And then we went back up to her room. We made mad sex, crazy sex, for hours and hours. And we would take breaks in between. She went to the plot. She went to Tiffany's. She went to a lot of these jewelry places. She bought a few outfits. We went on horse and buggy rides. We just walked around the city. We go back to our hotel and make love again. Then we go out again. Well, you know the thing. Anyway, here I am. I'm looking for a girlfriend. She's sitting there right in front of me. And she says, "Would you be my boyfriend?" And she had told me earlier she lived in LA. I said, "My home is here. I can't move to Los Angeles." And she started to cry, and I started to cry, and we made love one more time, and I left, and we both were crying. I took the train back home, and the whole time thinking, well, here I was putting up these flyers all over the Manhattan, and I finally found what I'm looking for, and I blew it, Susan. So Susan, if you're watching, I'm here. You see me on YouTube. Hello. So I regret that. That's just one of the things, the dates that I had. I've had a couple of really horrible dates and some fantastic ones. Some dates, I've had 2 dates in a day. When I was on MTV, I had, and this sounds impossible, I had 36 dates in 10 days. You could look all me up if you want in on Google search under Daniel Perino, and the news must have done at least 200 articles on me about looking for a girlfriend. But it wasn't all about taking the flyer at face value. There's a lot more meaning to the flyer looking for a girlfriend than just taking it at face value. But we'll get into that at the next part 3. This is part 2 of how I dated 1,000 women in 3 years. Alright, thank you all for listening, and see you next time, probably within 2 or 3 days. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe. Ciao.